So I guess the theme of this video is scandals in YouTube all around. And we'll deal with, I don't want to call it the radical left to balance the radical right. I don't think that's the right theme. I don't know what these people are. They're definitely not the liberals or leftists I hang out with or used to know. But apparently they affirm that we're so pro-gay, we hate racisms, we embrace the fascisms, but we're against discriminations. So let's deal with Norah. And I never thought I'd ever hear myself say that Nora's the least interesting, but Norah is confused. So Norah puts herself out as this great pro-gay anti-Scientology activist. And to be fair, she did do a thing a few days ago on her America channel because what's up with Norah? She's gone radio silent. She did, as usual, a pro-woke post, and since then has been radio silent. Believe me, I prefer it that way. I can guess why. She's been put in the mix of a lot of big crises, and I'm guessing she just doesn't know how to react, right? So Dana was forced to show her hand and say, "Yes, I spoke with Norah's, and I apologized, and we're both moving on." Yeah, Dana, maybe look up a dictionary. Just because the relationship was a former relationship, it's still a relationship, stupid. So I'm sure Norah does not want to discuss Dana, even though a few months ago she was explicitly defending Dana to Aaron. But I'm guessing now she doesn't get the propaganda. It's like, no, 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 no. Stop talking about me. That's the better propaganda. But it's too late. So how she's going to deal with that huge hedgehog, don't know, don't care. Now she has a massive hedgehog that she cannot avoid. In a few days, the defender of ants, the DOA, the very questionable radical activist, will be going to trial, possibly to go to jail. And usually, Nora's always, well, doing propaganda for DOA, but now she's like, not saying so many things because DOA recently has been extremely harsh to the ex Scientology community. Now, some of this we know already. He doesn't like Aaron, he doesn't like Serge, but it's how vehement he was. Usually, Serge got before, like, oh, Serge, he's beautiful and gay, and cuss. And ironically, DOA is still shouting the Nimkus and making fun of the Nimkus founder. So that's that's pretty out there. So DOA is many things. He's a confused radical, but he is radical. So I'm guessing Norah, who also recently doesn't like Serge, is caught in a bind, right? She embraced DOA hating Aaron, but now he seems to be hating way too many ex-Scientologists. So she's stuck in the kitchen. But the hedgehog is coming. The court date is set. They can delay it a little bit more, but he's going to go to court. So Norah is going to be like, what, not talk about the trial? At all? Really? Yeah. So she's got the ticking clock problem. Now let's deal with Marilyn. And an even worse phony than Norah. So my best advice for Norah would be, frankly, the Reese content. Because it is a buffet. And you got to give Reese this. You want it to be the center of attention, and she is. So Reese has been getting a lot of love from her audience, but a lot of hatred and criticism from, well, people like me, FTG, Knife Hoarder, and others. I think some people are of good faith, like Sammy, but clearly some of the hatred here is pretentious. It is being done for influence and clicks. Not that she doesn't deserve it. And Marilyn is, to put it mildly, going back and forth about what exactly she hates about Marissa. Before it was the Marissa Brett relationship and the fact that Marissa was covering up for Brett and the Scoville brothers conning people. But now I'm not really clear where Marilyn stands at all. Marilyn is fully embracing racism to get to Brett. And I'm like, okay, I don't think we have to be racist to criticize or attack Brett, but that's apparently the price to pay in Marilyn's dumb head. And on top of this, Marilyn talks about standing up for the victims, but it's not exactly true. So, as a part of her anti-Brett, anti-ecoplex media campaign, because, she loves children, and the predators are everywhere, guys. She's got to protect the women and children's. And she's willing to forgive and move on. So, one of her recent spies, I'm going to call her B, and I'm sure this person is real. This person is real. They have a YouTube channel that was mocking Reese and mocking Marilyn, frankly. She actually had one of the best Marilyn videos, frankly. It was hilarious using AI voices. It was a lot of fun. So that channel was making fun of Reese, Brett, and Marilyn, and magically, and it went away. It just went away, guys. The channel still technically exists, but the content is gone. What happened? Well, apparently B played the spy games in the wrong direction. So I cannot give names here because people are swearing me to secrecy. And this will also be a theme at the end of the video when we get into Yellowflash, which we're going to reveal things, but keep some things private because, YouTube policies, but also I want to be a decent person. So Marilyn has apparently sent B to do some spy missions and tried to recruit an Aaron victim, who on record has said that Aaron is very evil and stupid and lies a lot and a complete grifter. However, more recently, she's like, I just don't want to have anything to do with SPTV. I want to go away. I don't care anymore. She's out. But Marilyn's like, no, I could redeem you. And so, by the way, I actually advise this person, don't talk to Marilyn. She's a monster. She'll betray you. And guess what? She's a monster and she betrayed her. But, hey, being right, whatever. I've gotten things right now like 90% of the time. Nobody cares. But it is what it is. And I am citing an email by B to the victim. And this is B. Go tuck your kid into bed. Whoops! If you truly believe that Marilyn or any of the rest will speak to you, have at it. Marilyn was the one who laughed hysterically and sent me your message to her. Have a good life. And the woman victim spoke out and gave more details. And you're wondering, like, laugh? Sounds suspicious for a supposed crusader for victims that she would be laughing at the victims. So Marilyn was confronted saying, did you laugh at me? And Marilyn's like, no, I was laughing at something else. And there we are. So Marilyn is a complete poser and apparently is willing to take any stance, any position at the moment to serve her master, Aaron Smith Levin, who, by the way, is on a Hawaiian vacation. She wasn't invited. So she's also what's known as a mark. Among hustlers, she's the mark. She's a complete idiot and bonehead. And that's her. But again, this brings up the obvious dilemma of how much information can we reveal to expose a predator or a grifter or a moron. I myself have always been cautious, but there are exceptions to the rules, guys. So let's get to the radical right. Now, this time we can say the radical right because it is the radical right. So there's this racist, moronic grifter, Yellowflash, who's notorious for his MCU videos. He hates feminism. He hates Brie Larson. He loves his white man in anime. He just wants to go back to the 1980s and 90s. He's just a real comic book pro. He's a comic book bro. He loves films. He loves ladies. And he hates the woke. Now, at this point, there are like literally, I'm not exaggerating, 1,000 of these alt-right bro manosphere channels, and they're typically the same. It's really out-of-shape white men who are pretty racist and stupid, complain about nothing, and just lie for a living. So this guy is pretty off the charts. Apparently he was a police officer. That's not going to look good now in this era of police corruption, but hey, that's him. So Ethan van Sciver, who used to be a fan of this guy, and whatever you say about Ethan, he is very radical right, pro-Trump, but he's a talented comic book artist. Yellowflash is not talented at all. He's not a talented YouTuber, he's not a talented writer, but he's definitely not a talented comic book creator, and his comic book is crashing down. The sales look good. If you don't know comic books, you think, oh, tens of thousands? That's not too bad. No, this is an industry. If you do it well, good or bad, Todd McFarlane, Eric July, Jim Lee, if you do it well and correctly, you sell millions of copies. I'm not saying all these people deserve that kind of sales. Like Eric July has no talent. Todd has talent. Jim has talent. So even untalented hacks can sell millions of comics. So you got to be really untalented and stupid not to get to at least, like 100,000 on your first day. But Yellowflash, being the moron, couldn't get to that number because, he's a moron. So Ethan is having fun with him. He's releasing a lot of DMs. He looks like a complete clown. He sounds like a little crybaby, like a little girl wanting attention. But he puts on this tough bro pose for his YouTube channel. I'm a bro. Feminists don't scare me. The gays don't scare me. Black people don't scare me. I'm Yellowflash. I'm a tough bro. And again, this is YouTube. I can't give all the information away. So I'm going to be careful. And technically, we kind of know what Yellowflash looks like because we've seen his face and his bodice. He looked a little bit out of shape, but holy cow, Ethan unleashed the whole thing. And yeah, and by the way, Ethan is a little chubby. He's got a little pounds on him. Yellowflash is way worse. We're not just talking fat or overweight. We're talking like orca fat. Like the guy is like insanely out of shape. Insanely out of shape. And extremely ugly too. Now, I know I don't like doing the trust me bro. I'm not a bad looking guy. Now, I'm a little chubby. By little chubby means I need to slim down maybe 5 to 10 pounds. This guy needs to lose like 100 pounds. So it's a myth that YouTubers that don't show their face, they're not ugly guys. They're not out of shape. I know one of them is a Star Wars guy. Apparently he's into martial arts. So it's not what people think. I mean, people just don't show the face for whatever reason. But some people don't show the face for, the reason that they look hideous. I'll give Marilyn this. She's pretty ugly and overweight too, but she's showing herself. She's a fool, but she shows herself. Yellowflash has shown himself here and there, but never fully because, he looks like a mess. And I love how his comic book, his self insertion character, which is clearly him, he looks tough and muscular and just incredibly in shape. Yeah, so Clown Boy is pretty much a failure at everything. His YouTube channel is still popular. That's about it. Oh, final thing before we go. Fatso here is not just a grifter and a complete hypocrite, criticizing women's bodies and Brie Larson's shape, which, frankly, is way better shape than his. Uh, he's also a bit of a coward and a chump and a scumbag because he's not paying his artist. So he put his artist in a bad deal, saying, well, you can get the money now, or we could do it through profits. Oh, his comic book is not selling. So his artist is screwed. He's making the money, his artist is not making the money. So on top of all this, he has no integrity. So he's fat, stupid, lazy, a bigot, and supremely ugly. And ugly on the inside, ugly on the outside, and doesn't have the decency to pay his artist while yucking it up with Eric DeLay, a black racist. And that's what we have for today. Racists all around, or racist grifters, or adjoining allies to racist grifter on the left in quotation marks this time. But the radical right, yeah, it's got a lot of grifters, and it's hilarious that Ethan is uncovering them for his own amusement.